February and March of 2022, Vladimir Putin has really outdone himself this time, with an unprovoked and unjustified invasion of Ukraine. The brazen and cruel move, in spite of universal condemnation by the rest of the world, speaks of not only tremendous disregard for the rule of law, but perhaps even a darker side, one that is possibly maniacal or mentally ill. The vicious invasion seems aimed at the total subjugation of Ukraine and the annexation of that nation into Russia. While in these early stages it is hard to predict the outcome of international sanctions against Putin and Russia, it would seem that this ill-considered aggression will result in economic ruin for Putin, his buddies, and the Russian state. Unfortunately, Russian retaliation is likely to cause severe economic harm to the rest of the world as well. We fervently hope this development does not result in nuclear war. Today we dig deeper into the bizarre and sordid history of the leader of a nuclear-armed nation possessing more territory than any other country in the world. Number 8. Interference with American elections and politics. Despite troubling and unexplained denials by some U.S. politicians, Putin and his Russian internet trolls have definitely interfered with the 2016 U.S. presidential election and did more of the same with the 2020 elections. On top of that, Putin's trolls are sowing discord in the U.S. by suckering Americans into divided sides by race, religion, economic class, and politics with bogus websites and social media manipulation. Putin is engaging in a high level of internet cyber war that was largely being ignored by various controversial American politicians and pundits. Number 7. Putin dismisses his government. In February of 2020, Vladimir Putin fired the Prime Minister and virtually his entire cabinet, creating a new government more to his liking in a bald-faced move to consolidate his power, looking to stay in power longer. Not a surprise, he did something similar in 2004 and has remained in power since. The moves are seen as part of his plan, which included a constitutional change to allow him to remain in power past his otherwise term-limited date of 2024. Currently 69 years old, Putin may be able to retain his dictatorship of Russia for quite a few years yet to come. After all, he is constantly conniving ways to consolidate and extend his power. Number 6. Putin stole Robert Kraft's Super Bowl ring. In 2005, Robert Kraft, owner of the American football team the Patriots, had the opportunity to meet with Vladimir Putin. During this meeting, Kraft decided to show Putin his Super Bowl ring, valued at $25,000. According to Kraft,
I took out the ring and showed it to Putin, and he put it on and he goes, I can kill someone with this ring. Put my hand out and he put it in his pocket. 3 KGB guys got around him and walked out. I really didn't want to. I'm emotionally tied to the ring. It has my name on it. I don't want to see it on eBay.
The ring remains in Russia. Number 5. Putin kissed a boy because why? If seeing a grown man, let alone the leader of one of the Earth's most powerful countries, kiss a boy's bare skin is not weird enough, Putin's explanation for why he kissed the boy just makes matters worse.
You know that this was not planned. People came up and I began talking to them, among them this little boy. He seemed to me very independent, sure of himself, and at the same time defenseless, as a child always is. An innocent boy and a very nice little boy. I tell you honestly, I just wanted to touch him like a kitten, and that desire of mine ended in that act that you mentioned.
WTF. Number 4. Saint Vladimir Putin. Yes, you heard right. The Chapel of Russia's Resurrection, founded in 2007 by Mother Fotina as an all-women's sect, believes that Putin is the reincarnation of Paul the Apostle and Saint Vladimir the Great. and is himself a living saint. Not even the czars were worshipped as living saints. Let us just hope he does not take after Saint Theodora. By the way, if you are interested in learning more about topics concerning the paranormal, I strongly recommend subscribing to the YouTube channels for RU Media Network and Your Paranormal, which have collaborated with my channel in the past. Number 3. Putin versus Pussy Riot. Not all Russian women worship Putin. Among Putin's most vocal critics are a female punk band named Pussy Riot, founded in 2011. The group regards Putin as a dictator, which, given that Putin has run Russia as either president or prime minister for the last 20-plus years, does not seem an entirely bogus allegation. The group achieved international notoriety when they protested at an Orthodox church in Russia in February 2012. The next month, 3 prominent members of the group were arrested, denied bail, convicted of hooliganism, and sentenced to 2 years imprisonment. Amidst international outcries, the women were eventually freed prior to the Winter Olympics held in Russia in February 2014, only to suffer subsequent assaults by angry Russians as recently as March 2014. Number 2. Putin wins more votes than voters? In one of Russia's more recent presidential elections, Putin won with some interesting support. As reporter Bill Neely notes,
look at Precinct 451 at the capital Grozny, where Putin got 1,482 votes and Zyuganov got 1. Terrific vote, except that only 1,389 people were registered to vote in the precinct. That means the turnout was 107%.
Number 1. Aggression toward neighboring countries. All of the above pales in comparison to Russia's interventions in its neighbors' political turmoil. First, Russia won a decisive victory in the Second Chechen War in the first years of Putin's administration. Then in August 2008, Russia invaded Georgia in a war that cost hundreds of lives and also resulted in Russian victory. Now, we have the ongoing crisis of the Crimea, which has voted for independence and hoped for annexation by Russia. This conflict is perhaps the most concerning, as the possibility of American involvement seemed greater than what happened in 2008. Indeed, global fears of the conflict escalating were by far the most disturbing of news then scaring the world. By February 2022, with Russia firmly in control of the Crimea, the land grab had spread to other parts of the Ukraine that Russia is attempting to also annex. Fighting between the Ukrainian army and Russians continues and has played a part in the American political picture. As a question for my students and subscribers, should Britain and America come to the Ukraine's defense? Would a war between the United States and Russia have to be a nuclear war? Please let us know in the comment section below this video. Here are some possible answers to these questions.
Hello, I'm this Week by Week team in its entirety. I'm here to answer 2 questions. A, should the US and UK help out Ukraine in a case of Russian invasion, or in this case of Russian invasion? And if doing so at a military level, would that lead to a nuclear war? Starting with the first question, yes. Russia is the opponent of those nations, and helping out Ukraine would be beneficial, not just for the reasons that invasions are not good things, but that it is in the best interest of those nations for the geopolitical situation. And that does mean support more than sanctions. I am of drafting age, and I would very much not like to be drafted to fight in Ukraine, but there are other ways to help. Military advisors, military support and supplies, more than just helmets like Germany, but we have had proxy wars in the past, and there's no reason why we couldn't support Ukraine like we've done other nations. And if doing so, would that lead to nuclear war? No. Neither side wants a nuclear war. Putin might be bringing us to the brink of it, but he doesn't want to die either. No one would win in a nuclear war, and no one would be the ones willing to start it.
If you like this video and would like to receive notification of new videos, please feel welcome to subscribe to History and Headlines and become one of our patrons. I also encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channels Civil War Week by Week and Veritas at Caritas to learn more about world history. Your viewership is much appreciated.